What you see, what you do, baby please think it through. Drink it up, enjoy the view. MVP, got my crew, Nike on my shoes. Might be sipping booze, slightly feeling loose. If I want it, then I have it. Got a nice wrist, causing damage, just like I planned it. I'll be damn rich. Have a chef in the back, make a sandwich. Oh, she got it all, I just want it all, baby, we could ball, you just gotta fall, I could be your man, and paying for your tan, and I'm your biggest fan, and you said this your jam, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm living up life like a baller. I'm living like white, like I'm Walter. She always told me I never call her. Oh yeah, I'm living this life like I roll up in a coupe, up in a Chevy. I'ma hit it in the back if she let me. And take your time, baby, getting ready. I want you looking fine or looking sexy. Yeah, I be turning up. Got no ID, but she cute as fuck. So I told her she could kick it, but I said she couldn't touch. Now all she wants to do is kiss and hug. I could go all day, I'ma do my thing. I'ma stay ballin', like it's my driveway. I'ma go all in, party like Friday. I'ma take this day, turn it to my day. Oh, she love me, sipping bubbly, champagne, cocaine, kiss and hug me. It ain't nothing, dropping money. Okay, all day, getting lucky, yeah.
What's going on, you guys? It's the FPL Penguin, back again with another stream for you all. And in today's stream, we'll be talking about buy, hold, sells from Gameweek27 to 29. But as we know already, on Gameweek27, got some decent fixtures, and same with 28 too. And 29, we've got a blank game week coming up. That's the talking point. So I was probably just going to do this stream, just a buy, hold, sell for 29. But let's talk about 27 and 28. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to keep put some timestamps on as well for anyone watching after the stream is finished. So let's get straight into it. Players that I think you should consider buying. We'll probably just have a little scroll down, and I say have a look at Lingard. Lingard seems a very decent player to go for. I think he's got how many so far this season? Have a little scroll down for West Ham. So far this season, he's got 3 goals and 2 assists for the Hammers, by the looks of it. And he's only owned by, how much is he owned by? Jesse Lingard, by 5.1% he seems to be owned by. He seems a nice one to go for. And, he's got Leeds next. Now, Leeds are conceding quite a lot of goals so far this season. And, West Ham's scoring quite a few goals. So I think he could be a nice gem to go for. We'll go a bit more into his stats in a minute on SofaScore. So I'll give you a bit more of an insight what else he can do. He's got Manchester United, but he won't be playing against them. So that's a bit of a dodgy one to go for, because we know he can't play against Manchester United because he's ineligible because he's on loan. But he has got Arsenal and Wolves. But I do feel Jesse Lingard is a lovely one still to go for, despite he can't play against Manchester United. Because going into 27, the guy's on form. He's linking up well with Antonio, and I think he's a good one to go for, to link up well with Antonio against Leeds United. Arsenal will be another questionable one if he can do well in that game, but I think he could do well. So Lingard, I'd say bring in for this game week. He's on the buy section. Another one on the buy section, have a little scroll up. I'd probably say, because they're so attacking at minute Leeds, I'm going to say Rafinha. I don't think West Ham are that solid at the back. I feel there are spots they can exploit, and I feel they can really expose West Ham. So I think someone who's really good form at the minute, and Leeds are scoring goals for fun away from home. I'm gonna take a cheeky prediction that Rafinha could do well, and it could do well. Might prove to be a test for Tuchel's team, or how you pronounce his name, from Chelsea. So he could be a good one to go for, and he's got Fulham and Sheffield United, and he is playing in the blank as well. So Rafinha could be a nice one to go for too. We have a look at Diaz and Stones. Now Diaz and Stones, they're on the buy section too. Now they're on 4. They scored a goal each against West Ham. They got Manchester United. They got another double coming up Manchester United and Southampton. Then they got Fulham, but they are blanking in 29. But I still think they're good ones to go for, or just one of them, because they're hardly that rotated, and they seem to be ones that, you know, just pop up with a goal from a great corner. They got great players that are taking the set pieces. So I think either Diaz or Stones are the safest ones. Cancelo's a bit of rotation, so either one of those two, just go for one and just sit back and just hope they probably score. They might get bonus. They're more likely to get a clean sheet because they're doing well by not conceding many goals or conceding any goals at all. So they're on the buy section too. Another one on the buy section is Harry Kane. Harry Kane, he's got Crystal Palace, Arsenal, he's got Villa in the blank, and he's got Newcastle. I think it's a lovely one. I think we saw Gareth Bale do very, very well against, was it Crystal Palace? Not Crystal Palace, was it? He did well in the last match. And I think he's a good one to go for. If Bale continues to start for Spurs, you know, that would really, really help out a player like Harry Kane. Because Son's helping at the minute, but I feel Kane needs a bit more service. So I think if you keep starting Gareth Bale, there is a lot of talk. If I did talk about Bale to you guys, I do think he's still going to be a rotational player. I think Son and Kane are still going to be the more nailed-on players, guys. I think Bale isn't a bad shout. He did fantastic in the last game, but I just feel with Bale, I just feel he's going to be rotation, and I don't know. I just don't trust Mourinho, and he's quite expensive too. So I'd rather, if I were you, to stick with Son. I think Son's pretty much similar price to Bale, so I think Son over Bale any time of the week. At the moment, you know, he had a great game, but I think he's still going to be rotation. If you want to go for him, guys. But I would rather go for Kane. I think Kane has got some lovely fixtures ahead, and I think he's a good one to just slap the captaincy on. He loves to score against Arsenal too, and he has a love, and he's playing in the blank also, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does there. Just say hello to everybody here in the chat. Kobe, OHD, and Dylan, how you doing? Hey Penguin, having a bad game week with 60 and DCL triple captain. Mate, don't worry. I've got about. I need to show you how am I getting on? I'll give you a little look how I'm getting on, guys. Do you want to see how I'm getting on? Huh? Going up and down in the rankings. 57 points, -8. But don't worry, mate. DCL will get a hat trick versus West Brom. Don't worry, mate. There's still hope. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So that's how I'm getting on, guys. But yeah, so there's a few more people in chat. How you all doing? I ruined my week from the start. I forgot to swap Pope and Martinez around, so I'm currently having Martinez benched, hauling, and Pope with 1 point. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Kobe saying thoughts on Bertrand Traore from Villa to replace Barnes. He's a good one, but I have to see what he does against Sheffield United, because I was quite disappointed in the fixture against Leeds. So hopefully he does something against Sheffield. But I'm probably considering getting him out for Lingard. That's what I'm thinking about doing, getting rid of him for Lingard. Traore, I think he's one of them. I think they really do miss Grealish a lot, Aston Villa. Dylan saying thoughts on Bale or go safe with Son. Go safe with Son, mate. Go safe with him. Bale is 67-minute man. He is, but just go safe with Son. JBT, how you doing? Jay, how you doing, bro? How you doing? Dylan saying double Villa defence worked. Please get a clean sheet versus. I think, more than likely to get a clean sheet against them. I'm still predicting a 2-1 win. I think Sheffield United are one of those cheeky teams that could snap up with a goal, pop up with a goal. But I think Villa go for defensive assets. I don't think it's a bad idea. You look at players like Target, Martinez, a fantastic goalkeeper signing for them. I think it's a good one to go for. Before we move on to the hold section, we just have a look at some players like Jesse Lingard, how he's getting on so far this season. That's his heat map on the far right. 3 goals and 1 assist, but he's actually got 3 goals, 2 assists according to FPL. Key passes 1.0 and then 2.2 on shots per game. So he's quite an attacking player, as we all know. He's doing very, very well at West Ham. If we have a look how he got in the last game against Manchester City, he picked up an assist in that game in a 2-1 loss to them. That was his heat map going towards the left-hand side of the screen. And these were all his stats in the last game. A very tough game. Going to be obviously more tougher than what Leeds is going to be, so I think West Ham will really go at Leeds. But that's how he did. He did very well, though. Shots on target 1, shots off target 1, shots blocked 2. key passes 2. So he's a very good attacking player against Manchester City here, as you can see. Have a look at him against Aston Villa. Let's have a look against Aston Villa. How, this was his debut game for West Ham. He got 2 goals in this game, played near enough 90 minutes, 2 key passes, 3 shots on target, 3 shots blocked. He looked very, very attacking in that game. I'm sure that was his debut against West Ham. If anybody wants to correct me, or confirm that. But that's how he got on against Spurs. Let's have a look how he against Booner's team. 1 goal against them, 1 shot on target. Not as active as he was against Man City and Aston Villa, but you can see he's hugging the left side of the wing, got in a box quite a bit, as you can see. And they got a 2-1 win against Spurs. But yeah, so that's how Lingard got on. That's his stats in some of the games for West Ham so far this season. Kobe saying, is Maddison still out for the Brighton game? As far as I know, mate, he is out. He's still out. Maddison. I think he is. Let me just double check. He's got a hip injury still, mate. 50% chance of playing. I think he's out for a couple of weeks, probably a month. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I can't quote anybody, but I think from what I've heard, him and Barnes are out for quite a period of time. I think Barnes out for the rest of the season. So losing their 2 key players, that's a huge blow for Leicester. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do. If we talk about as well, because Rafinha's at the minute, let's just type in Rafinha. Before we move on to this, is still the buy section, guys. So it's nearly 10% owned, 5.4. Rafinha's got 5 goals, 6 assists so far this season. And this is his fixtures ahead. I still think Leeds are capable of scoring these games. I really do think they are. I think Rafinha is such a lovely player to look at. I want to have a look at how he got on against Aston Villa. How did he get on against Aston Villa? In that 1-0 loss. As you can see, 4 key passes. He does take corners by looks of it. He got 1 shot off target, 1 shot blocked. He looks a very good player. He's still a fantastic player. Too good for that Leeds team. And he's a fantastic sign for the Leeds manager. And I think he still could be a good one to bring in, guys. And as we know about Stones and Diaz, not much rotation there. But I still think at least bring one of them in. Probably Stones. I think that was his 3rd goal this season. Not too sure. But I think he's a good one to bring in. Harry Kane. Let's have a look at Harry Kane. How Mr. Harry Kane got on. If you got any more questions, guys, going into 27, please do fire them away. I will be doing another stream this Friday or Saturday, so don't worry. But please do fire those questions away. It was Burnley, that was the game that Bale did well in. So this is how Kane got on. As you can see, he's hugging that middle of the field a lot, the centre of the field. But he got 2 shots on target, 2 off, and 1 blocked. And 2 key passes too. So it looks a very exciting player, Kane. I think with Bale starting the services there, even more of a service, and I think that's really going to help Kane thrive a bit more. I think Bale's just going to do absolutely well if it keeps starting, but I think it's a bit rotation, a bit risky. But he had a fantastic game against Burnley. If you want to have a look at Bale, let's have a look at Bale. Even though he's not on the buy section, I'll show you guys. We'll have a look at Bale. This is SofaScore. Let's have a look how he did. This is Bale stats. Now, he's quite a bit back a bit, but he got forward quite a bit. 2 goals and 1 assist, 70 minutes he played in that game, 1 key pass, 2 on target, 1 off target. That's how Bale got on in the game, in his start against Burnley. It's one of those games. So I'd say don't do anything with him yet. He's a bit rotation player, but if you want to take the risk, go for it. Go for it, guys. Go for it. Should I keep or sell Safal? I know 1 or 2 people that are thinking of get rid of him, but I'd say keep him for. I know he's not getting much in returns, Kobe, but I'd say probably keep him. Should I say? For the Leeds game, you never know, he might do something. I know Leeds love to attack in a lot of games and score, but I'd say keep him for this game. And also he's playing in the blank too, mate. As you can see, he's playing in the blank against Arsenal. So I'm not saying that's going to be an easy game, but if they can beat Spurs, I'm sure they can beat Arsenal. I'd say keep Safal, mate. I'd say keep him. Because he's playing the blank, and it would seem a waste to get rid of him if you've got a player that's playing the blank and you're getting rid of them. So I'd say keep him, mate. Moving on to the hold section now. I am time-stamping these guys. We're going to have Watkins, because I know quite a few of you, I'm sure, unless it's gone down rapidly, have got Watkins over 27%. He's 6.6 million, 10 goals and 5 assists to his name. And there was a lot of speculation for the Leeds game, and he got an assist in that game. A lot of speculation that he was going to miss the game, a lot of injury speculation. But he played in that game. He's got Wolves next, Newcastle, Spurs and Fulham. He's playing in the blank. I'd say hold him going into the Gameweek 29 fixture. I know he's not as consistent with returns. Grealish is still out, but I feel Watkins is still one to probably just keep hold of for now and see what he does against Wolves. So we're leaking quite a few goals at the minute. And there's Newcastle too, so I'd say just hold him for now if you do have him, and maybe he might do something in those fixtures. We'll have a quick look at him as well. We'll have a quick look at how Watkins, if you want to as well, I did a Bundesliga stream not so long ago, earlier today, so do check that out later. It's a Bundesliga stream, if you did miss that. This is how he got on against Leeds, guys. This is how Watkins got on. He got an assist in that game. It wasn't in the box as much, but he got one shot on target and had 2 key passes. He's a bit of one of those troll players, isn't he? He's not as consistent, not as exciting to watch since he signed for Aston Villa. So I'd say hold him for now, for the next couple of games, especially for the blank, and see what we can do. I mean, if West Ham can beat Spurs, if Brighton can beat Spurs, then Aston Villa can beat Spurs. So we move on now to another one, another Leeds asset, and it's Bamford. Now, Bamford is very, very, very heavily owned. I'm sure still he is about over halfway, like 52%. That's a monster ownership, and he's acting a bit overrated, isn't he? For that ownership, he's acting a bit overrated, isn't he? Because he hasn't done really that much, has he? I mean, there's been gaps. It's only been a goal, and then there's been other gaps, and people comparing him to Pookie. So, 13 goals, 8 assists so far this season. Now, this guy at the start of the season was absolutely rocking it. He was absolutely rocking it, as you can see it on the stats. Quite expensive, he's 7 million. But I'd say keep him. I'd say keep, because you know what the Leeds team's like. It's very, very attacking. They could do some against West Ham and Chelsea. Fulham, playing in the blank as well against Fulham. They got Sheffield United too. I'd say keep hold of him for now and see what he can do. I wouldn't get rid of him. Just give him another 2 games. Give him till after game week 29. Give him till the Fulham game and see what he can do. I don't think he's that bad a player, but if we have a look at some stats, it's just probably been very unlucky. We'll have a look at some stats from Mr. Bamford. And we'll have a look how he got on the Aston Villa game. Did he do much in that game? He does like to get in the box quite a bit. He had 1 shot off target, 1 shot blocked. But he's still heavily owned, isn't he? Still very heavily owned. If we have a look at how he got on against Southampton, now he scored in this game against Southampton. As you can see, he had 2 shots on target. This was in a 3-0 win against Southampton with no Danny Ings and Minamino coming on in the second half. No Kyle Walker-Peters. 1 key pass. So he's very, very effective, and he can just pop up with a goal every 2 games or something. So I'd still keep him, guys. Keep hold of him, I would say. What should I do in 29 since I've got no free hit anymore? I'm in the same boat as you, mate. No free hit. I wouldn't panic, mate. Kobe, about not having a free hit. I imagine a lot of people don't have the free hits for that, and I think the blank game week. If we go back to have a look at the blank game week fixtures. To me, if you look at that, I don't think you really need to. If you had your free hit, you wouldn't. I don't think it's worth wasting it if you did still have it. Because the only players I'd say recommend bringing in are probably like Kane, Son. Would you really want anyone from Brighton, Newcastle, maybe Dunk, something like that? Leeds and Fulham, will it replicate what it did at the start of the season as a 4-3? It depends how many players have you got for the blank already, Kobe? How many players have you got for the blank game week at the moment? But if you I think at the moment I've got about 9 for the blank game week. Hoping to have probably 10 or 11, probably a full team's worth. But I'd say probably 7 is suitable, or probably 8. 7 or 8 is suitable. I wouldn't go too crazy. Probably 7 is probably the minimum to probably go for this game week. there's not really much exciting fixtures to go for, Kobe. So I wouldn't worry about not having a free hit for that game week, mate. So don't worry about it. Mohammed saying Salah to KDB and Barnes to Rafinha for a -4 good move. I'm just worried again. I think the Fulham game will be tough for us, being a Liverpool fan. But I feel there's rotation a bit with KDB, a tiny bit. But I feel Mohammed, I feel it's a good one to go for. Go for it. Salah to KDB, Barnes to Rafinha for a -4. I think it's a good move, mate. I'd say go for it. FPL tips. Harry, how you doing, mate? Hi, Penguin. Who are your top 3 captain options for Game Week 27 in order? Can't decide. 80% of the top 10k have already played the free hit. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, who would be my top 3 captains for 27 in order? So if you have a look, this is going to be interesting. I'd say number 1. Number 1 would have to be... Number 1 for... If you're looking at that double game week, aren't you? But who's going to start? Could KDB be number 1? I definitely wouldn't say Bruno. Definitely wouldn't even put Bruno in the top 3, to be honest with you. Definitely wouldn't put Bruno in the top 3. I'd say number 1, in my opinion, despite them only having a single game week, I'd say Harry Kane or Son. Probably Harry Kane against Crystal Palace would be my number 1. I would say. My number 2 for captaincy. This is when it gets a bit more tougher. So Harry Kane would be number 1. Number 2, I would take a cheeky punt on Antonio versus Leeds for captaincy. I think he should be up there. I wouldn't even put Salah in the top 3. I think we're so unpredictable at the minute. I think Fulham look like a relatively solid team at the moment. But I would put Antonio up there, mate, against Leeds. I think he's a good captaincy option too. I think he's very, very attacking. I think he's a good differential captain to go for. Number 3, God knows. I would have said a Leicester midfielder, but maybe Jamie Vardy. But probably KDB. I just think the whole rotation puts me off Harry with City for a captaincy. I think you're seeing, Pep's just rotating Sterling, Gundogan, KDB around. We've seen it in the double game week already, in the last double game week. So if I had to choose, if I had to pick, I'd say pick a City attacker for the double game week to captain. I'd say KDB probably. I think he's slowly looking like the player he was, taking the set pieces again. And I think he's probably number 3, if I dare say. Don't come at me, guys. Don't come at me for saying that, but that's my opinion. I know he's got a double game week, but it's so unpredictable with his pep roulette. You've got to agree there. You've got to understand what I'm saying. But I think Harry Kane will be top, in my opinion. And Antonio, lovely differential captain. I don't think we should ignore him, guys. I don't think we should ignore him at all. Waiting to see what you guys think in the chat. Interesting to you have no City players in your top 3. I said KDB, but I think it's a bit of rotation, Harry. I think it's one of them. I'm not ruling any Man City players, for captain out, but I just feel it's just a bit annoying. I daren't play Pep's game, mate. I daren't play his game. I think, he frustrated quite a few managers in the first double game week that's just gone in 26, so I daren't follow it, mate. Who is my Game Week 27 captain? At the moment, I've slapped it on Harry Kane. That's who I'm going for. I'm thinking about going with no City attacking midfielders again. Just going for my double defence again. I think that's the safest way to go. It's so, it's more. He's unpredictable, Pep, with the attack. So I bet it's best to just go with the defence at this very moment of time. Davey, how you doing, mate? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well, mate. How's your game week gone, mate? How's your game week 26 gone, mate? Going at the moment. I keep thinking it's finished. How many points have you got at the moment, Davey, for game week 26? How many points have you guys got at the minute for game week 26? Do let me know in chat. How many points have you got in the minute? Is your game week going good? Is it going really bad? Or do let me know. Thoughts on Diaz captain? I'll get to your question in a minute. Faddy, I hope you're doing well, Faddy. He's saying here, Kobe's saying I have 7 players played in 29. That's good, that's decent. So if you can get another player in, get 8 players in, I think you're good to go, Kobe. There's nothing to worry about. So, you don't have your free hit. There's nothing to worry about, mate. As long as you have like 7 or 8 players for that blank game week, you're good to go, mate. You're saying thoughts on Diaz captain for this week? I think you got Manchester United, you got Southampton. I think it's a good differential to go for, differential captain. Depends who the rest of your team is. If you just want to play this game like, I'm going to go for this captain, it could pay off. It could pay off. He could end up scoring 2 goals like Stones did a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I think Diaz is bold. But I think I think if you're looking at someone to score, Manchester United could probably score and then ruin that clean sheet for us because we know what they're like, Bruno Fernandes and all that. But I think they'll keep at least 1 clean sheet in that double. I think mostly against Southampton, unless Dennings decides to pop up. Davey's saying 72 points so far. Mate, that's amazing. I think I've got about, how many did I say? I've got about 50 odd points, 60 something. I don't know. Minus 8. I'm not doing particularly well. I need DCL to save my arse this game week. Faddy's saying I still have my free hits and I will be using it in Game Week 33 because I have 5. There's Spurs and City, but I use it for the room. Let's say that every time, yeah. So that's interesting because I know a lot of people carefully plan out their free hit. They carefully plan that free hit. They want to use it at the right moment. A lot of people playing catch up. A lot of people who are like in the top 10k or something like that. So it's good to just use it wisely, guys. Use your free hit wisely, and hope it pays off for you. Seriously. So I think we're still on the hold section. We're still on the hold section after a little bit of a chat. The last one on the hold section is DCL because I know DCL, Mr. Calvert-Lewin. He's 7.8 million. He's owned by 43%. And he's got Chelsea, Burnley, and he's playing the blank. But I'd say hold him for now. I know Chelsea are looking, relatively, solid at the back. This manager's really got them looking like parking the bus, hasn't he? So near enough. If there is any Chelsea fans in chat, do let me know what you think of how well the Chelsea manager's done so far. Is he, are you impressed at what he's done? Do let me know if you're any Chelsea fans in chat. But I'd say keep DCL. You know what Ancelotti's like. He's one of the best managers out there in the world, and I think he could be the manager that could hurt Chelsea. And I think DCL is one to keep hold of for that game week, and Leeds as well. I know they lost 1-0. I think they lost 1-0 at Goodison Park. Everton did to Leeds. But I would still keep DCL for the Leeds game too, and then probably bench him for the blank game week if you want, and then go then and not Leeds game, the Burnley game. So I was talking about Chelsea. I'd say keep him for the Burnley game too, because Burnley conceding quite a few goals. So I think DCL versus Burnley at home could be a good one to go for. He's not playing the blank, like I said. But he's got Crystal Palace, Brighton. He's got some good favourable fixtures, and he got Spurs at home too. In about 33, is it? In game week 33? 32. So that was one hell of a game. Was it 5-4, 5-3 win for Everton in the Cup? So that's going to be interesting if that can happen again. And Spurs had a decent team out as well. So I think keep hold of DCL for now, guys. I would say. Napoleon, how you doing? 62 points so far using the triple captainship on DCL and not Son. Still a lot to go. It was disappointing in the last game, but hopefully, mate, he does do something against West Brom, because he did get a hat-trick against them early in the season. So hopefully he does do something, because I am a DCL owner too also, and I've also got him as captain, so I'm hoping a big haul is incoming for DCL in that game. So we're going to move on to the sell section now. This is a game week 27 to 29 buy, hold, sell video. So we're going to talk about sell now. I'd say definitely the 2 players that are going to spring to your mind, aren't they? Maddison and Barnes. Very, very unlucky with their injuries, and wish, speedy recovery as well. But 2 huge players for Leicester. Brendan Rodgers' team lost 2 of their key players, attacking players. So that's going to really, really hurt them, I do think. So definitely sell them. Sterling, I'd say probably sell. I know you're probably screaming why sell him, but it's a bit of rotation. But if you want to wait till after the double game week, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this is a game week 27 29 buy, hold, sell video. But if you want to give Sterling one more shot and give him the double game week, by all means go ahead with it. But I'd say, it's getting a bit more tougher now. He's a bit rotation. He's not as consistent. So maybe look at probably getting rid of Sterling very, very soon. I've also got Bruno as well. Now, you're probably all screaming as soon as I said that, very calmly as well. Bruno Fernandes, we'll have to see what he does against Chelsea, but I can't see him doing much against Man City. I know he's got West Ham, but then he's blanking in 29, isn't he? And he's a lot of money. He's still very, high ownership, Bruno Fernandes. But I haven't really looked at his stats. Should we have a look at his stats, like how he got on against Chelsea? That would be interesting to have a look at how he got on the other night. So that's how he got on against Chelsea. He had one key pass and he had 2 shots blocked. So he's still showing he's a very attacking player, isn't he, Bruno Fernandes, in a 0-0 draw. But I don't know. Is he really worth keeping? Is he really worth keeping at the moment? Let's have a look how he did against Newcastle. 1 goal, 1 assist. This was the game before. 3 key passes, 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. I think what everyone's just hoping for, who's a Bruno owner, is that he just gets a penalty. That's what they're hoping for, because he's more than likely to convert it and score. He takes corners, takes free kicks, but I don't know about you guys, but I know you're probably shocked. But I just put him on the sell section. I know a lot of people probably screaming saying he's essential and all that, but he's got some tough games. It's like simply FPL was saying, Boona was saying, this is the reason why I got rid of him. Now we have to see what he does tonight against Crystal Palace. It's a different team compared to Man City. Is he really worth keeping for a team that doesn't concede that many goals, that's got a great defensive record? That's Man City. West Ham, and he's got a blank game week. I don't think he's essential for the next few games. I don't think he's essential, and especially not playing in the blank game week. So he's another player that I'd put on the sell section. You can get far more better players, I'd say, and better midfielders. If you have a little scroll down and have a look at players, probably like, he is the top one. He is the top one. Don't get me wrong, he is the top one. But if you look at players like Son, he's in form at the moment. If you want to go for a City asset, Gundogan, Sterling, a little score. There's not many, is there? But there's KDB too. Mahrez did well, but he's more rotation. I'd say best to avoid Mahrez at the moment. But the other players that I mentioned are good ones to go for. Aubameyang, if he still gets the game time, he'd be a good one to probably go for. With 8 goals, 1 assist, he's done well. He got a hat-trick against Leeds, but he's a bit rotation. Probably best to avoid him. Rafinha, if you're very cheap, it saves you a hell of a lot of money if you get rid of Bruno. Got a lot of money in the bank. Traore's playing in the as well, same as Rafinha in the blank game week, so he's a good one to go for. Trossard. No, what is he doing? Because he seemed to be one I was eyeing up the other day. 2 goals and 5 assists. Not really something to rave about. So his fixtures aren't particularly that great. But the other players above seem to be good ones to go for. Saka, is he playing in the blank game week he is against West Ham? Now, we know how good of a player Saka is. We know how good of a player he is. Now, he didn't play in that game. I think he was benched against Leicester. But he's not particularly get the returns much. But the players above, I'd say, probably look at bringing in who I mentioned. Those are the sort of players I'd say probably look at bringing in. Play DCL or Bruno next game week going into 27, mate. I'd say if we have a look at the fixtures again. Well, DCL's got Chelsea. United's got. Oh, this is a tough one. We look at 2 of them, you think, oh, they're not going to get much, are they? Either DCL or Bruno. I'd probably say, please don't hate me for this, I'm going to say DCL versus Chelsea. I just think they just look very attacking, Everton. And oh God. I don't know what you guys think. Who would you rather go for Game Week 27? DCL versus Chelsea or Bruno versus City? Who would you guys rather go for? I honestly would go for DCL. I think I just like it versus Chelsea. Could be a big test for Chelsea in that fixture. Faddy's saying 74 points, but I still have 7 players to go. Dude, that's amazing. I just have a look at how I'm getting on, but I'm doing random. How am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, six players. Barnes won't play in that game against Burnley, so I've got 6 players plus per captain play. So Antonio on the bench, so he won't come on at all. That's how I'm getting on, guys. I'm up and down, you know. That's why my name's not a clue. Get it? Not a clue. FC. Not a clue how to play this damn game. For the bants. I always bottle it every season, guys. This time of the season, I always bottle it. But yeah, so Bruno, David's saying Bruno. That's interesting. That I know it's Bruno, but I just think with City they look quite solid, don't they? They look quite solid at the back, and then Bruno, so just be hoping for a penalty. That's the thing. But you know, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Kobe saying, "How you doing, Kobe? Hope you're doing well." 82 points, 8 to go, bro. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. And Salah triple captain. Salah triple captain. That's something, because he blanked against Sheffield United. I mean, you would be hoping for a massive haul against Chelsea, mate. I mean, that's something. Should have backed Trent though. That's going to be interesting. But as a Liverpool fan, I hope Salah does well. I really hope it, because I've got Salah on my team also. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Mo does against Chelsea. I don't think he'll do much against them. He has got Fulham. He has got Wolves. So it's going to be interesting after that. But yeah, who is the most picked captain this week? Please don't say, but it's Bruno Fernandes. My God, I thought DCL would have been. It's because of the big ownership, isn't it? Most transferred in. Barnes, how unlucky is that for people who brought him in? Should we have a quick look at the transfers in and transfers out? But yeah, that's all for sell section, guys. For the rest of the video, just have a little look around. People bringing in Lingard. About over 150k have brought him in so far. I do think, you know, Gundogan's going up. A lot of City players going up, and Cancelo going down. People getting pissed. That is a bit of rotation. Sterling going down as well. Not as much, but he's only 11.5 million, 11.5%. And he's a bit of differential, isn't he? It's a bit of differential, you know, the stats wise, you know, 9 goals, 7 assists, but he's rotation. Too big of a price for someone like that. Say best to avoid him at the moment. But yeah, so that's basically it, guys. That's basically it from the video. David's saying he's a rank killer with his ownership. He is, and that's why, fingers crossed, someone like me, boon up and simply be praying that he blanks again versus Palace, or we will be going further down in the overall table. Better to gamble on players with lower ownership. It is. It's all about its differentials, and that's something that I'm considering to probably look at more. And shout out to Dread FPL. You know, he does hashtag break the template you mentioned. It's best to try next season, try not copy a template, but go for those big ownership players, but don't like follow the trend or go for it. Just pick out some good differentials you think will do well for the first couple of weeks. I think we all panic because when we see the ownership so big for like Bruno and Salah at the start of the season, we're thinking, oh, these guys are going to haul. But it's best to play your own game. Just go for it. Don't go with follow the crowd most of the time. But there you go. You got a sneak preview of my team. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but you can. There you go. That was a sneak preview for the lucky out there. But yeah. So guys, that's it. I'm gonna finish the stream. Hope you have enjoyed the stream. We've been going on for about nearly 40 minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed the stream, please hit the like button down below. Hit subscribe, join the bubbly bunch army. Please share the video on Twitter and Facebook. And please check out my stream from about an hour ago. I did a Bundesliga fantasy one, which some of you guys weren't too impressed about me playing. But haters gonna hate. So I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. See you soon, and take care.
Like LeBron, though, or like Lonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do, baby, please.